I got a really bad feeling. You know what? That a bunch of Buffalo Bills fans. I bet my numbers are off the charts this week for the Buffalo Bills fans, all tuning in. They didn't tune in when we beat them in the Windy game. I'm sure they all sat that fucking one out. Oh, my God, yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. I didn't think we were going to win. But I didn't think that was going to happen. We got our asses whipped. I mean, I would love to say that what looked to be a touchdown pass by Mac Jones and then one of the greatest interceptions I've ever seen. That safety coming over the top like fucking John Stallworth. That catch against the Rams back in the fucking Super Bowl 1979 is what that reminded me of. And that if that was a touchdown, you know, does that change the tone of the game? I don't think so. I don't know what happened to the Bills in the middle of the seasons where all of a sudden they shit the bed. But the beginning of the season, they look like world beaters. And then they look like they were going to do what they always do to their fans, which is let them down. And now they're back and they're looking like world beaters. Although, you know, they beat a young Patriots team with a rookie quarterback. And, you know, I think Mac Jones and some of those guys took too much criticism from Patriots fans where it's just like, you know, we're starting over. There's a new guy, you know. Look where we were last year. I mean, Jesus Christ, the fucking wheels were off. And this year we almost won the division and won the playoffs. Got our asses kicked. And you know what? That's a good fucking thing. It's a good thing because they'll remember that and they'll build on it. And I'm just happy that, like, you know, I was worried that once, you know, Cam Newton didn't work out, Brady's gone, that we were just going to be basement dwellers. But the fact that we're where we're at is fucking great. And I had a fucking blast. Like, I sort of live tweeted the game. And as you watched it, I mean, the fucking thing was out of hand quick. So I just started, like, bitching about the officiating, like, ridiculously. People just took the bait. You couldn't believe it. There was one, I don't even know what it made the score, like 33 to fucking 3 or something. And this fucking guy in the Bills, he must have had like 5 yards on the defender. And, you know, they're just showing Josh Allen, you know, dropping back. He throws the ball, and you just see this guy wide open. And, you know, so there's no way I could have seen the corner or anything. And I tweeted out something like, did they ever call offensive pass interference? Ridiculous. And fucking these idiot fans were jumping on. I'm saying all Bills fans are idiots because I could have got Patriots fans with that if it went the other way. If I was a Bills fan and we were beating them. But I just had a fucking blast doing that. And then I was doing like the stupid, you know, sports talk radio stuff. Like, are they taking their foot off the gas a little too early? But I will say this. For as much as an ass kicking as it was, I did watch the whole game. I didn't turn it off like most fans. I can't watch this, you know? Like the fucking Bills fans probably did 4 Super Bowls in a row, just turning off the game. I'm really getting tired of how much they glorify Bills fans. Like there's not the same amount of cunts in that fuck. Just because they lose, now you feel bad for them. That was another tweet I had to them. I go, you know, I really hope you guys win it this year because I'm really tired that half of the Buffalo Bills highlights is about your fans tailgating. We're jumping on tables. Anyway, if I was a doctor, I would open up a practice out in Buffalo, and I would specialize in rebuilding shoulders. There's gonna be a lot of that. Jesus Christ. But anyways, it was just an absolute ass kicking, and I got to tell you, you know, the KC and the Steelers is on right now. It's starting to get a little out of hand, but I don't see anybody that the Bills couldn't beat. You know, but I gotta tell you, are you a little concerned about the kicking game in Buffalo? Guy missed 2 extra points. One of them was tipped, but whatever. One gets tipped, and then he misses the next one. All right? And you don't need to tell a Patriots fan or a Bills fan how important the kicking game is, because we've been on both sides of that coin. We have a first ballot Hall of Famer in Adam Vinatieri, and you guys had that other guy. So we shall see. We'll see if that comes back. I mean, the guy's been great in the regular season, but that's the regular season. All of a sudden, it's the playoffs, and it gets a little bit tighter. And these Bills fans are all excited because they finally beat Bill Belichick, and maybe they're forgetting that there's a guy named Tom Brady out there who beat the shit out of the fucking Eagles, right? Bills fans, you got to want it. If you have any fucking balls left, all right, after landing on tables, doing splits, or whatever the fuck you guys have been doing out there to distract the fact that you have an absolutely pathetic franchise for all of these years, you have to want to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So not only can you finally fucking win a Super Bowl, get that monkey off your back, you already beat Belichick, you have to want Tom Brady. You got to want that game. And I got to tell you something. If Tom goes in there and fucking deep pantses, you fucking assholes, deep pants, you guys, one more time, I think you guys should have to rename your city to something else. Like they should just lay the name Buffalo. I don't know, something. You guys have to burn sage. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm just fucking with you. Congratulations. That's the game. If I was Eddie Fatface, whatever the fucking commissioner's name is, if I was that guy and I wanted ratings, that's the fucking game I would want. I would want Tampa Bay versus the Buffalo Bills. And Buffalo Bill fans, I swear to God, if you guys get into the Super Bowl, do yourself a favor. Do not turn on ESPN during the 2 weeks of Super Bowl hype. If there is 2 weeks, I don't know if there is anymore now that they added next week. Because all it is going to be is about those 4 fucking Super Bowl losses, and all of that, blah, 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 blah. And then they're going to do, it's going to be nauseating as they make you guys out to be Joe Sixpack and all these great fucking people. And you're not. You're not bad people, but you're no better than anyone else just because you haven't won a Super Bowl. I fucking hate when they do that. They show up every year. They're just great fans, and they just everybody does. Everybody shows up year after year. What else are we going to do? All right? We're the peasants. We can't invent things. We're not smart. We go down to the Coliseum. Throw them to the Lions. That's what we do. We go to a UFC event. And the second it goes to the ground for longer than 15 seconds, we start booing. We're morons. Of course, we're going to keep showing up. Anyway. The fuck are you going to do? So, anyway, I'm going to close this out by, once again, congratulations to the Bills. You guys are looking like fucking world beaters. I am rooting for Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, of course, but my second team is the Bills. I mean, I just, I don't know why. I just want to see Brady get another one. Fucking have 8. Be amazing. Then he gets 8, and then he can go for 3 in a row, which nobody's ever done. Yeah, it'd be fantastic. Because I just oh my God, I'm so fucking sick of him. I'm not. Why are you sick of the scene that I wonder if people back in the 1920s were like, oh my God, I'm so sick of Babe Ruth. We get it. You're the greatest fucking baseball player. Were they sick of him? There were people. I don't want to go down there and see that fucking asshole. And they didn't go to Yankee Stadium, or they didn't go to their local ballpark to see Babe fucking Ruth. Why wouldn't you do that? I don't know. You can't be like that. If somebody's fucking great, you got to give it up, and you got to root for them to be the greatest ever so you could say that you saw it. I would think. I don't know. Speaking of which, I have just become obsessed with the Cincinnati Bengals. Their whole thing in the 1970s where, they came out in like 68 and they had Paul Brown and Bill Walsh And that kid, Greg Cook, you got to see the story on this kid. This kid was like, Bill Walsh said he was the greatest quarterback talent he ever coached, including, Joe Montana. And, guy blew out his rotator cuff. They didn't know what happened, and they didn't know how to fix him back then. And it just, made his arm weak, and it just ended his fucking career. And the guy really had a sad life after that. But then his backup had a weaker arm, and that's when Bill Walsh created the West Coast offense in Cincinnati, and it was called the West Coast offense not until 1985, I guess, when Bill Parcells' Giants beat the 49ers, and Bill Parcells said, hey, how do you like that West Coast offense now? And then that coined the phrase, but it was actually created. And they had a guy, Isaac Curtis. Did I talk about this with Verzi, or did I already talk about this on the podcast? I can't remember. They had a guy, Isaac Curtis. He was the fastest guy in the NFL, and he is the reason. The Isaac Curtis rule is that after 5 yards, you can't interfere with the player. Because Paul Brown said, what is the point of having a performer if they're not allowed to perform? They fucking went jumping on him and shit the whole way down the field. So that's the reason for that. The Mel Blount rule is when he beat the shit out of Golden Richards in the Super Bowl in 1976. He was literally just beating him up. Like punching him in the head and shit. It was fucking nuts. So they're like, you can't do that. But wait, they're kind of the same rule, though. Look those up. Try to find the nuance between the Isaac Curtis rule and the Mel Blount rule. And I'm a big fan of rules named after players. Like Sean Avery. You can't turn around and face the goalie and just stick your hand in front of his eyes or whatever. I just loved that there wasn't a rule that said you couldn't do that, and nobody thought to do it until he did it. And then just the fucking balls that took, because he has his back to the shooter and there's no padding. Even if there's you're just getting hit in the fucking foot would kill at a pickup rink. Forget about getting hit in the calf by an NHL slap shot from the fucking point. And he was so about winning, he didn't give a fuck. Turned around and just stuck his hand there. I thought it was hilarious. So, anyway, that guy should have a podcast. That guy is fucking hilarious. And if he does have a podcast, please send it my way. I want to listen to that. Anyway, all right, that's the podcast for this week. All dehydrated Bill. Congratulations to the Bills. I got to tell you something, man. That interception was one of the greatest interceptions I've seen in a long, long fucking time. You guys got a great coach. They got somebody up in the booth that used to work with Belichick and Nick Saban. I mean, these guys, they are built to win this whole fucking thing. And I got to tell you, man, I think they got a better vibe than those great Buffalo teams of the late 80s, early 90s. I think this one just seems more, they got that cold-blooded serial killer fucking thing that you have to have as a champion. So, I don't know, man. I think that it's going to come down. This is obvious shit. It goes down to KC and the Bills. Unless KC completely fucked it up and the Steelers beat them while I'm doing the podcast here. It comes down to KC and the Bills. And I think the Bills could beat them. Absolutely beat them. And, I was watching tonight and, Kansas City gets down to the goal line. And they do a little razzle-dazzle. And then Patrick Mahomes literally underhands the ball to somebody. Like he would throw to a 3-year-old. And everybody's like, oh, my God. It's like the fucking Globetrotters. I love Collinsworth. He's like, it's like the Globetrotters. It's like, is it? That looks like me trying to teach my daughter how to catch. I was joking on Twitter that like when Josh Allen threw that ball sidearm, if Patrick Mahomes did that, the announcers would have talked about it for the rest of the game. I mean, that is just odd. Look at the angle of his arm. I mean, that is fun. You would think that nobody ever slinged it sidearm before the guy. I will give it up. I never saw somebody throw a no-look pass. I will give that up, but I don't know. There's just something about when he does shit like that They act like they've never seen it before. I mean, what I'm seeing there was that's just the holy roller turned into a fucking forward lateral. Ken Stabler did that shit 40 years ago. Oh, Bill, you're really going to be an angry old man? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. All right, that's the podcast. Go fuck yourselves, and I will. I'll check in on you on Thursday.